football, I played nose guard. I played nose guard and defensive tackle, which are two of the hardest positions on the field, because usually you get hit by 2 or 3 guys that weigh over 320 pounds apiece. So wrestling for me was pretty easy comparatively. But I liked football a lot. I got 2 older brothers who played football, and I wanted to be just like them. And I was very lucky. I was able to make it to the NFL for a short period of time. Then I got hurt, and then I had to wear my underwear and wrestle in front of millions of you guys on television. So that's the story. Oh man, Triple H has to be up there. Like, no doubt, absolutely. See, my deal is this. My deal is that I'm a competitor. I'm an athlete. I thrive on competition, even at 48 years old. And though wrestling is, kids, close your ears, predetermined a little bit. There are certain ways to go about business and certain ways not to go about business. And at the end of the day, if you're all for the common goal of making as much money as humanly possible and providing the fans with the best product as possible, then it should be that common goal that you work towards. And unfortunately, it's not. So there's a lot of goofiness that happens backstage. And if you guys want to know why I'm not wrestling anymore, that's why. Because I'm 48 years old and I choose not to deal with that kind of stuff. And you know, it's unfortunate. Sparring and all that kind of stuff. It's funny how quiet they all get when you throw that out there, you know, when you get into the real world, you know. But anyway, favorite match that I fought, I think one of, you know, I had a couple of them. You guys probably never seen it, but the first time I ever wrestled in Japan, it was at a place called the Budokan. And it's a really famous place where like a bunch of sumo wrestlers have been beating each other up for hundreds of years. And for me, it was really cool to wrestle there. For me, it was also really cool to pick up the giant who weighed 520 pounds that rode wild and be able to be the first guy to slam him into the mat. Kurt Hennig was a guy that I always loved to wrestle with. He was a guy who taught me a lot about the business and was a really good guy, you know. Whoever would have made sense to. At the end of the day, I could see Scott Steiner taking it from him because it makes sense. You know, Steiner and I go in there, I break his orbital in a Royal Rumble match. He still goes on. You know, he and I had some great matches. And at the end of the day, like I said, unfortunately, you know, it's true, but part of it's predetermined, and the goal is to go out there like a dance and not hurt each other. But if something happens and something slips up, you know, don't hold it against the guy the rest of his life. I mean, we're just trying to provide good television for people. I'm not trying to hurt anybody. But Steiner was just like me. You know, he didn't cry when you hit him. It wasn't our intent to land punches and to land a lot of stuff like we did. But, you know, when it happens and it's an accident, you know, forget about it because you're a man. That's why I like wrestling him. And I would have been proud to give him the strap. Yes, I am. Matter of fact, I kind of work for him a little bit. I'm a spokesperson for one of the companies that he markets for. Pretty cool, huh? Long-time friend. Matter of fact, I've known him since the 3rd grade. His name's Charlie Tietrich. There you go. No. Because Goldberg doesn't need anybody's help to beat anybody. And truth be told, if it wasn't in the storyline that night that he give me his sharpshooter thing or whatever the heck his finishing move's called, he never could have got it on me. But I did it because I like him. No, I mean, you know, the reality is we were both in a very tough situation. Neither of us were I wasn't going to be there after that match. You know, obviously, if I'm not one of the products from the WWE, I'm only there a year and I'm leaving after WrestleMania, they're not going to be too happy with me, right? So, I mean, surely it was a bad situation for everybody. At the end of the day, if the WWE was smart and if all they thought about was business, then they would have made that the biggest WrestleMania to date. Because I don't know of 2 bigger monsters that have ever gotten in the ring together at the same time who could have who could have inflicted as much damage on each other and still made it through that match, there's no two other guys on the planet, I think, that could do that. I'd go toe-to-toe with Brock until one of us gave up, and it'd be a lot of fun because I really respect him. I like the kid a lot, and I respect what he's done as a businessman. I very much respect him as a collegiate athlete. I respect him as a professional wrestler. I respect him as a fighter. I respect him. He's a good kid. Actually, WWF came out. WWE came out. I hated it. But see, my fault is that I take things personally. I do. Triple H did an article about me when I was at WCW, and he was saying that I was, didn't like the business, and that I was sitting at home getting paid, and he lit a fire up under me that to this day, I won't, until I'm in the ground, I won't be happy until my fist is planted through that man's face. I can't stand the man. And but it goes back to you're not being one of their products, and obviously if you're going toe to toe with them, and certain times we were kicking their butt in a certain period during that hour or the 3 hours, and they wanted to make fun of me, and they thought it'd be funny. And hey, at the end of the day, Dwayne Gill or whatever his name is, I don't have anything against him, but I took it way too personally. It's a joke. So I don't know how to explain it much more. In that, I'm 48 years old. I got a beautiful family, and I don't want my kid, ever getting into that. I just don't, because I don't want him to succumb to a promoter like a Vince McMahon ever in his life. But if he's anything like me, he won't. He'll stand right up to it. So it's all tough. It's really hard to compare all those combat sports, whether it be glory, kickboxing. I watched lion fights last night, which is full rules Muay Thai, which is elbows. That, to me, is the most dangerous thing out there. It's the coolest thing out there as a fan to watch. The life expectancy for the fighters isn't real good unless your face is made of cartilage, because you're going to get cut every fight. Football in the 18 seconds of average football play is the toughest thing out there. It's the most violent thing out there, no question. Wrestling, though, it is predetermined, and we're on the road 1 to 200 days a year. So, though it's a dance, it's a physical dance. Timing's got to be right, but it's 3 to 4 days a week. So it tears you down after time. Pro football, 16 games. That's it. Glory kickboxing, if it's a non-title fight, 3 3-minute rounds, 3 5-minute rounds. MMA is less dangerous than boxing. Actually, professional boxing probably is the most dangerous of all of them, because you can only hit people in the head or the chest or the torso. So how many headshots do you think guys are going to take during a 15 round fight? How many headshots do you think an MMA guy takes? Well, not nearly as many, because he takes half that many and he's going down. So you don't have that accumulated damage to your cranium that you do in boxing. So in a very long-winded answer, I don't know which one of them is the most dangerous, but they're all pretty tough. Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's nothing fake about wrestling. Fake, period. No, fake. Predetermined, yes. There's a total big difference. When someone walks up to me and goes, "Hey, is wrestling fake?" I said, "Well, no, it's predetermined." And I don't know, if your definition of fake means that when I picked the giant up, he weighed less than 520, yeah, it's fake. So it ain't fake. We're doing an intricate dance that's very physical and extremely violent. People get hurt. You got big guys in there that, all of them aren't the most athletic guys in the world, but even if you are, it's tough. And the pressure to put on a show for you guys,